it's not really what I hope to get out of these additional debates. It's what the American people deserve to get out of seeing the people who want to be their vice president actually debate. I just, maybe I'm old-fashioned, but as the person who's asking the American people for the awesome honor and responsibility of being their vice president, I think I ought to have to go before the American people and make the case for why I deserve to have that job. And I think it's disgraceful that Tim Walz and Kamala Harris are running from every media interview, running from every reporter. They refuse to respect the American people enough to stand before them and actually ask them for their vote. So I think we ought to do as many debates as we possibly can. I know the President Trump has invited Kamala Harris to do 3 debates. She's only agreed to 1. Tim Walz, I guess we agreed to do a debate on October 1st, but CNN, not exactly friendly to me, much more left-wing than almost any other media station. CNN wants to do a debate in mid-September. And I said, yes, absolutely, because the American people deserve it. And one final point about this. Look, the Harris campaign is not running a political campaign. They're trying to produce a movie. She never stands before the American people without a script. She never talks to voters unless a teleprompter is right in the middle of them. This is not a person who we should trust to sit in a private room with Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin and the leaders of America's, whether they're adversaries or friends. If you are afraid of a friendly media, and the media has been very friendly to Kamala Harris, then how can we possibly trust you to represent us on the world stage? The answer is we can't, which is why we ought to fire Kamala Harris, not give her a promotion.
Well, just in, vice presidential candidates Tim Walz and J.D. Vance, well, they have agreed to a debate. The debate will be held on October 1st and will be hosted by CBS. Presidential candidates Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, they also have agreed to a debate on September 10th, with former President Trump proposing 2 additional debates as well.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about hiding Kamala Harris, okay? And Tim A. Walz, right? I think that those are the best nicknames to describe these 2 individuals because they seem to run away from any type of adversity, right? That's the first thing that they do. Anytime they may have to do something that makes them uncomfortable, they run extremely far away, okay? When we're talking about Tim Walz and his accusations of stolen valor, or the fact that Tim Walz was in a bunker as he allowed left-wing lunatics to destroy Minneapolis, and Kamala Harris running away from the media, these people, I'm not entirely sure how anybody can observe their actions and behavior and think that, yeah, these people belong in the White House, right? They should be sitting at the same table with Xi Jinping, with Kim Jong-un, with our foreign adversaries who can smell this type of weakness. Because I'm telling you guys, I smell weakness, okay? And every time you look through the actions of the Kamala campaign, not their words, but their actions, they are extremely weak and fragile, okay? And we have more evidence of that because they just continue to pull out of debates, okay? Trump and J.D. Vance are trying to have as many debates as possible because, in a healthy, functioning democracy, you should have our political leaders, people that are running for office, tell the American people what they believe, right? But because Democrats don't actually believe in democracy, what they actually really mean by democracy is democracy TM, they actually don't want you to know anything about them at all, okay? They want to make Kamala Harris and Tim Walz as ambiguous as possible in order to hide their far left agenda that surely is going to result in chaos and destruction for this country, even more so than the extreme Biden agenda, which is the most left-wing administration that we've ever seen in this country. And to get a better understanding of how destructive this agenda can be, all you have to do is look at history. Kamala Harris is thinking about implementing price controls as a part of her economic policy. She has announced this.
Kamala Harris set to propose a federal ban on food and grocery price gouging. Polls, of course, have shown that the economy is the biggest issue for voters this November, and Trump holds a wide lead over Harris when it comes to economic policy.
And she's all over food inflation, right? She wants to ban price gouging. I'm not sure how that would work, and it is already illegal in most states anyway, but...
And these are the same tactics that were used by the Soviet Union in order to tackle inflation. However, what resulted were food shortages and supply shortages as well. And again, you have to understand history in order to predict the outcome of these communist policies that the Democrats are going to push. This is why I highly recommend you guys check out Beneath Sheep's Clothing, which is a film that documents the Soviet Union and the communist takeover that led to the mass persecution of Christians. Something that the left rarely talks about because they really don't care, but the shocking parallels between the tactics that were used back then and what is happening today is something that everybody should be aware of, especially coming up in this election where you literally have communism on the ballot, right? You have communism on the ballot. Okay, so what you're seeing happening in our institutions, particularly in the West, whether it be our schools or our churches, this has already happened before in history, and history is just repeating itself. And it's important for people like you and your family to be aware of what comes next. I have personally watched this film, guys, and I can tell you guys that I've learned so much. Okay, it felt like I was watching a historical documentary. I mean, honestly, that's the way I would describe it. It is a historical documentary that is extremely, extremely, extremely important for anybody that cares about freedom to understand what has led up to the events that we're currently seeing today. Okay, so I highly recommend it, especially if you love to learn about history and connect it back to what is happening today. You should definitely check it out. The link will be in the description below. Okay, so update. Kamala Harris says that she will participate in 2 presidential debates and 1 VP debate. Now, we're going to get more into the details, but what I want you guys to focus on for right now is the VP debates. JD Vance proposed 2 debates, okay? One on CBS, which is rigged against JD Vance and Republicans, and one on CNN, which is also rigged against JD Vance and Republicans. Tim Walz only accepted 1 debate in October, but won't accept any earlier debates. And MSNBC, for whatever reason, thinks that, oh yeah, well, this is all we need, right? This is all we need in a functioning democracy is just 1 debate. We don't need to see any more about what JD Vance and Tim Walz believes.
We end the show with some breaking news. This just in, Donald Trump's running mate, Senator J.D. Vance, has accepted 2 debates against Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. One on September 18th on CNN and another on October 1st on CBS. We should note that Governor Walz has agreed to the October 1st debate so far. So we shall see what happens, but at least we got 1 on the books. Willie, your thoughts?
I think the consensus at the table is we're good with 1.
Yeah,
I think in the vice presidential debate seems like plenty. Yeah. John, final thoughts here. Aaron Judge, 300th career home run, faster than any player in the history of baseball. I know you want to expand on that a little bit. And also, Donald Trump had that rally yesterday. We played big portions of it today. Again, holding a news conference at Bedminster today. He's going to be out doing what he does and saying crazy stuff.
I'm going to refrain from commenting on Aaron Judge here at the end of the show. But yes, first of all, it's good that we are having a debate. The debate is good. 1, we don't need 2. But the Reverend Al, we are going to hear from former president again today.
Yeah, so you see that, you heard that. Okay, now what I find to be fascinating about this narrative from the mainstream liberal media and their defense of Kamala Harris and Tim Walz obviously running scared of debates from Trump and JD Vance is the fact that they're pushing this narrative that the more that Trump and JD Vance talk, the worse that it gets for them, right? This is the narrative they're pushing right now. They're saying that the Trump campaign is imploding because Trump is saying crazy things. This is what they say. And that women like JD Vance less the more that he talks, right? So if this was actually true, right? If this was true, why is it that the mainstream liberal media is cheering on less debates? It doesn't make sense. You would think that the media would want more debates. They say, no. These people need to talk more, right? They're so crazy. They're so unhinged. They're turning so many people off that we need more debates for the American people to be turned off by Trump and JD Vance. That's not what they're saying at all, because the truth is that they know that, 1, Trump's campaign is not imploding. In fact, he's more popular than he's ever been. Do not let anybody tell you anything differently, okay? This campaign, Trump's campaign, still has momentum, and people need to understand that the Kamala Harris campaign is built on a house of cards. The foundation is weak because it is artificial. This is why they continue to run away from debates, which leads me to the specifics of the debates that Kamala and Tim Walz have agreed to. Okay, Harris campaign says it will participate in 2 presidential debates and 1 VP debate. The Harris campaign said Thursday it will participate in a total of 3 debates this election season, 2 presidential debates and 1 vice presidential debate. The campaign, in a statement, sought to put an end to the Trump campaign's suggestion of additional debates before Election Day, declaring that the debates about debates is over. Guys, do you hear the entitlement? Right? The debates about debates is over. Whatever we say goes. Now, I don't know about that, Kamala. I'm not entirely sure if that's how this should work. I will elaborate after we read a little bit more here. Assuming Donald Trump actually shows up on September 10th to debate Vice President Harris, then Governor Walz will see J.D. Vance on October 1st, and the American people will have another opportunity to see the Vice President and Donald Trump on the debate stage in October, Campaign Communications Director Michael Tyler said in a statement. Quote, voters deserve to see the candidates for the highest office in the land share their competing visions for our future. He added, the more they play games, the more insecure and unserious Trump and Vance reveal themselves to be to the American people. Those games end now. Now, I'm not entirely sure what he means by Trump and Vance playing games. I mean, they've been pretty straightforward about the debates. Trump says he wants one on Fox News, one on ABC, one on NBC. Now, here's the thing. I want you guys to understand that the dates are important here, okay? Now, the reason why Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are trying to do as little debates as possible is because they want to do these debates after people start casting their early ballots, right? Once people start already voting, this is when they want to have the debates, when the votes are already cast and they can't be changed. Vice President Harris has agreed to debate former President Trump on September 10th on ABC News. Trump has said he accepted 2 other proposed debates, one on September 4th on Fox News and another on September 25th on NBC News. But Thursday's statement makes clear Harris will not partake in either the Fox or NBC events, but would instead participate in an October debate with Trump as long as he attends the September 10th showdown. On the vice presidential front, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Senator J.D. Vance have agreed to an October 1st debate hosted by ABC News. But in accepting that debate, Vance proposed a second vice presidential debate on September 18th hosted by CNN. Thursday's statement from the Harris campaign indicated there would be only one vice presidential debate, which is in line with historical norms. Yeah, so what do we have here? Well, what you have here is the Kamala Harris campaign running scared while at the same time trying to dictate all the terms of the debate as if she should be able to determine when the debates happen for whatever reason. I'm not entirely sure like what makes these people think they have the authority to determine when and how the debates happen. Well, actually, I do know what it is. It's because they know that the mainstream liberal media is going to push this narrative that Trump is running scared of Kamala and they're not going to hold her accountable for her clear and obvious cowardness, right? Because that's what's happening here. So they knew they cannot get away with just saying that, well, we're only going to do one debate, right, in September, okay, with Trump on ABC. Because, again, she's refused the Fox News debate and the NBC debate. She knows she can't get away with that. So what they're doing is that they're saying, okay, we will do the ABC debate, and then we'll do some other debate in October. Now, I already told you guys why they're trying to push it back as far as they can, okay, because they're hiding Kamala Harris. But again, they couldn't get away with just accepting one debate. They had to accept some other debate. So again, they're trying to throw out, oh, no, we'll do a debate in October to try to make it look like, oh, well, Kamala's not running away from multiple debates. She's accepted multiple debates. Technically, she just didn't accept the ones that Trump proposed, right? And Trump just doesn't have the right to dictate anything. So we have to go along with Kamala, who wants multiple debates. Again, less debates, I believe, than what presidents typically have. I'm pretty sure they're typically 3 debates. Okay, I could be wrong about that. But I think at the very least we should get 3. But her coming out here and saying, oh, let's do 2. Again, that's her trying to say, well, I agreed to multiple debates. I just don't agree to the multiple debates that Trump wants to do. But she's still agreeing to less debates. So how should the Trump campaign handle this? Now, if I was the Trump campaign, what I would do is this. I would proceed forward as planned. I would say, look, I agree to the ABC debate. I also agreed to the Fox News debate, the NBC debate. If you want to chicken out of those debates, then that's fine. But I'm more than happy to do 4 debates. If you want to do the debate in October too, we can do that. I'm agreeing to all the debates. You're now chickening out of 2 debates, right? That's what's happening. That's exactly how they should respond. Okay, we'll agree to a 4th debate. You want to do 4? Why won't you do 4 debates, right? That's the counter move here. Reframe the issue, because the Kamala Harris campaign is trying to frame the conversation as if her proposals are the only legitimate proposals. And that's just not how this works. No. Trump has already had to capitulate to doing a debate that he didn't agree to because he never agreed to debate Kamala Harris. But now he has to capitulate to Kamala Harris setting the terms for the October debate and saying that, well, I'm not going to have any debates outside of the ones that I want. No. We're not doing that. What Trump should do is say, okay, I propose 3, you propose 2, you want 1 in October. Okay, fine. Let's do 4 debates. What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. 4 debates. You get 2, I get 2, right? Because Trump is the one that proposed the Fox News and NBC debate, and Kamala is essentially proposing an ABC debate because that was her idea. That wasn't Trump's idea. They forced Trump into agreeing to that. And, she's proposing an October debate. So technically it's Trump proposed to, Kamala proposed to. I think that's fair. And if she refuses to do it, then you proceed as planned. If she doesn't show up to the Fox News debate, then you make it a town hall. You do the ABC debate versus Kamala Harris. You kick her ass, and then you show up to the NBC debate. If she doesn't show up to the NBC debate, okay, well, you make it a town hall. Same thing with JD Vance. If Tim Walz doesn't want to show up to the CNN debate that should happen in September, then, all right, you know what? Cool. I'm going to show up. I'm going to make it a town hall, and then I'll debate you on CBS and kick your ass there. That's exactly what should happen. That's exactly what should happen. That should be the move, because these people are running scared, right? They're running scared. And the way that you one up them is you don't capitulate to their terms, because you're setting a terrible precedent here that, hey, they can just dictate the terms of the debates and all that. No. We're not doing that. We're not going to continue to give them power and control. You just need to turn it back around on them and make Kamala Harris look like she is afraid. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Because more is better, right? Nobody's ever going to disagree with Trump saying we need more debates. We need more conversation. We need more transparency. Trump is embracing transparency. Kamala Harris is running away from it. She's afraid of it. She is terrified of it. This is why she doesn't want to do any interviews with the media. We can already see it. That's their weakness. So you have to exploit that and make sure they're not dictating the terms of how things are done, at least not without facing severe consequences. Because Trump showing up to a town hall after Kamala Harris chickens out, that shows that, hey, Trump ain't got nothing to hide. Trump is willing to be transparent, and he's willing to do town halls in unfriendly territory when Kamala Harris is again, terrified, right? She's terrified to do anything in unfriendly territory, right? Even on CNN, they're like, I don't think we could have Tim Walz debate JD Vance on CNN. It's not rigged enough for Tim Walz, right? So therefore, we're going to respectfully decline, right? This is what they're doing. This is what they're doing. So again, I think the best way to counter this is to just say, all right, well, if Kamala Harris wants to run away, if she continues to not want to talk to the American people, she doesn't want to talk to the media, she doesn't answer any questions, she doesn't want to do any debates, why the hell should she be commander-in-chief? And that's something that the Trump campaign can show the American people through their actions, that, hey, we're not afraid of anybody, that we're willing to put ourselves in unfriendly territory and uncomfortable situations to let the American people know what we believe and to make them informed about our solutions for the country. The other side is not willing to do that. And that says a whole lot about their character, right? The intangibles that the mainstream liberal media talks about so much when it comes to why Trump is so bad, right? But again, they can talk all they want, but actions speak louder than words. We've seen how Trump reacts literally in life or death situations, and he's not a coward, right? He's not a coward. He doesn't back down. He shows up and he shows out, and all they have to do is just show up. All Trump has to do, show up. Show up. If she chooses not to show up, let her not show up. But you will come out on top in the eyes of the public as long as you stick to your guns and say, we're going to do the debates, whether or not you like it or not. I'm going to be there. If you don't want to be there, then, hey, I will make it a town hall. And then Kamala Harris can try to explain to the American people why she refused to show up and to let Trump say it to her face, which is something that she claimed that she wanted, except every time that Trump tries to do that, she runs away. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.